You probably think your dog is fast asleep when the lights go out and the house gets quiet. The truth is, they aren't just sleeping peacefully through the night. They are actually operating as an incredibly sophisticated biological scanner, and their main mission is protecting you. If you have ever woken up completely startled at 2 in the morning in your New York apartment, only to find your golden retriever sitting up in the pitch dark, staring directly at you with an unblinking gaze, please don't panic. It might feel like a scene straight out of a horror movie, but what you are actually experiencing is a highly specialized medical check. Thousands of years of evolution have turned dogs into some of the most sensitive biosensors on the planet. If you feel proud and incredibly lucky to have a 4-legged guardian always by your side, go ahead and drop a number 9 in the comments below right now, so we know you are watching and that you are not alone on this wonderful pet parent journey. Also, just a quick note, the visuals and structure of this video were shaped by AI to help share the most fascinating and helpful science with our amazing dog community. Before we dive deeper into this very first nightly secret, let us know in the comments which state or country you are watching from, and please hit that like and subscribe button. To understand why your dog does these quirky things at night, let's take a quick look at what's happening inside their brain and biology. So, why exactly do they stare at you in the dark? Are they seeing ghosts? Or are they dealing with separation anxiety, that real distress your dog feels when they think you might leave them? The answer is purely rooted in survival science. Research suggests, specifically a fascinating 2020 paper in the journal Animal Cognition, that dogs are highly sensitive to human respiratory patterns. Every single time your chest rises and falls, your dog is analyzing that data. Why would their brain care about your breathing? Well, in the wild, micro changes in respiration are the very first signs of illness or a severe stress response. Your dog is continually evaluating your breathing data just like a living, breathing heart monitor. For them, staring at you in the dark is not creepy at all. It is a routine welfare check. They are just making sure that the most important person in their social structure is stable and healthy. It is their way of reading the room, even when the room is pitch black. If you are finding this first nightly fact amazing, please give this video a quick thumbs up. But what happens if this furry bioscanner actually detects a glitch in your breathing? You have probably experienced a cold, wet nose suddenly shoved into your face, or perhaps your French bulldog has given you a very firm, deliberate paw smack right in the middle of the night. Do not immediately assume this is unwanted behavior or just your dog being annoying or demanding. This could actually be your dog attempting a physical medical intervention. Many experts believe, including researcher Stanley Coren, who wrote The Intelligence of Dogs, that physical touch is the most primal way canines verify survival responses, since they obviously don't have access to hospital equipment. When your dog notices that you have temporarily paused your breathing, which happens to many people, or if your breathing becomes erratic because you are trapped in a bad dream, their internal alarm system goes off. The fight or flight instinct, that hardwired reaction dogs inherited from their ancestors, kicks in, and they feel compelled to use their paw or nose to force a reaction from you. You might just grumble, roll over, and go back to sleep, completely unaware that you just passed an emergency medical exam conducted by your dog. It is pretty miraculous when you think about it. Let me know in the comments what state you live in, and tell me if your dog has ever nudged or pawed you awake like a little paramedic. Please share this video if you can relate to that midnight wake-up call. The good news is that not every night is a medical emergency, but your dog's sensory system never truly shuts down. If you notice your dog constantly changing where they sleep on your bed, they aren't doing it to be difficult. They are actually using your body like a giant temperature and emotional mood ring. Applied animal behavior science suggests that dogs alter their resting positions based on 3 main things: ambient temperature, human movement, and the emotional state they pick up from you. If your Texas heater is running way too hot and you are sweating, your pup might slide down to the foot of the bed to cool off while still keeping a paw touching your leg to maintain that physical connection. On the flip side, if your body is pumping out stress hormones because you had a terrible day at work, your dog will likely press their spine firmly against your ribs. This behavior acts as a form of deep pressure therapy intentionally designed to soothe your overwhelmed nervous system. They are making calculated adjustments based on the vibes you give off while unconscious. However, sometimes the most telling behavior isn't where they lay down, but where they are looking. If you have ever felt a little bit rejected because your dog sleeps with their back to you, you really need to hear this because it is actually the ultimate compliment. Biologist Raymond Coppinger noted that sleeping facing the door is a profound guarding behavior. While half of their brain is comfortably synced to your gentle breathing, the other half is acting like a radar, scanning the hallway for any unusual sounds. And sometimes, just listening from the bed isn't enough to satisfy their protective instincts. Research tracking farm dogs with GPS collars found that dogs frequently get up in the middle of the night to patrol boundaries and entry points. Even in a quiet suburban home, your dog feels that same urge. They might quietly slip out of the bedroom, do a quick sweep of the living room, sniff the front door, and verify that the perimeter is entirely secure before trotting back to their spot beside you. They do this silently so you can sleep peacefully without worrying about the outside world. All of these midnight patrols and check-ins lead us to an incredibly beautiful scientific truth about how deeply connected you two really are. A 2021 study published in Scientific Reports used motion sensors to track the sleep-wake cycles of dogs and their pet parents, and they discovered something called physiological synchronization. This means that over time, your dog's circadian rhythms actually shift and perfectly align with yours. When your brain briefly stirs from a deep sleep cycle, even if your eyes never open, your dog's brain receives that signal, and they wake up too. They might not bother you. Instead, as ethologist Mark Bekoff explains, they might let out a sub-threshold vocalization, like a soft sigh or a tiny little whine. This is their way of gently checking the connection, basically whispering that they are there and everything is okay. It is the acoustic version of holding hands in the dark. Furthermore, when they wake up from a wild, vivid dream of their own, they might feel completely disoriented. They will immediately seek you out, maybe laying their heavy head on your chest. They do this because you are their grounding mechanism. Your familiar scent, your heartbeat, and your warmth pull them back to reality and make them feel safe again. To your dog, you are not just a person who fills their food bowl. You are their entire ecosystem. You are a synchronized unit, dancing together in the dark. So the next time you wake up at 3 in the morning, with a furry elbow digging into your side or glowing eyes watching you from the shadows, please do not get frustrated. Smile, because you are experiencing the purest form of love and protection. This doesn't mean you've done anything wrong if you sometimes need your space. It just means your dog is communicating their devotion and you're learning to listen. I want to take a moment to honor all of these silent, loving guardians. Please go down to the comments section right now and type your dog's name. Let's build a massive tribute to the wonderful dogs who watch over us while we dream. I will personally be reading through them and sending love to every single one of your amazing pups.